Because if they have to ask what is the straight and narrow, I can't help you with that. I've done what I can do, and I'm sorry. I have failed the flock.
Well, you really have, and I'm glad you feel it and have internalized it.
And Charles, you're right. The straight and narrow is a drag strip. It is straight, fairly narrow, and you should stay there.
Oh, Jaylene is throwing paperwork down. Jaylene, thank you. Thank you, Jaylene.
Queen Jaylene, the one who handles all of the back clocks and gets everything taken care of.
Ooh, let's talk matchups in Super Pro.
Let's do.
All right.
Would you like me to illuminate the ladder?
I've lit my whale oil lamp.
You've lit your whale oil lamp?
I put on my stocking cap and illuminated my whale oil lamp. Thompson versus Mudd. Rizzoli versus Meserve. Williams Jr. versus Ash. Verde versus Coltrane. Those are the pairings. Coltrane, Verde, Ash, Williams Jr., Meserve, Rizzoli, Mudd, Thompson.
Okay.
I just did a mic drop of that, but it was a piece of paper, so it gently.
I liked it.
It lacked a lot of drama. It just gently floated down.
No, it was actually fine. Hey, David Meyer, you have won a Perform Air Eclipse weather station for your package in round number 6. David Meyer, you have won a Perform Air Eclipse weather station. Congratulations. A very nice little thing to go home with. Terry Lee is correct. I am choir boy. Completely innocent in this entire situation. Hey, Gear Wrench Pro, and Super Pro will take you back to the lanes. Thank you very much, Gleghorn. Appreciate that. As we've mentioned, I know Brian said it. I'm going to say it again. It has been a really fun weekend.
It has.
You know, we've certainly missed having Jed around, who's been kind of my partner on the mic for so many years. Get to work with Mike Eames from time to time. It's always fun to work with Brian here. And I'm not going to go into the list of all of the announcers that I work with because there's so many of them and it's so much fun. I mean, Ryan Gleghorn got to share with Mike with you for a little while, and Jake Hodge. And I mean, it's awesome to be able to sit down in a booth with anybody. It's really awesome to be able to sit down this weekend with Brian.
Yeah, no, we've had a blast, man. It's great. And it's fun, too, because in a normal weekend when we work together, it's normally kind of us handing off one to the other, and one guy's running one way and one guy's doing something else. So it's neat to be able to kind of hunker down here and do our thing.
It is. And it's also, you know, there's always a different approach to things based on the event that you're at.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, when you're in a national event, it's a different approach that you have to take. Sure. Because there are different responsibilities, different things that you have to do. When we get here to a high-dollar bracket race like this, we get to take a little bit different approach to that. Yep. As far as delivery and what we're talking about. Different categories, different everything is going on. And so it's nice to be able to switch up the styles from time to time. And, yeah, Brian, like what you said, we do not get to sit side by side a lot. I think one of my favorites, I was actually talking with Alicia about it. I still remember the night that we did a late-night session at St. Louis.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
That was, thank you, Matt Zapp. The late-night session at St. Louis that year was a ball.
It was super fun.
That was a blast. Yeah.
No. Not in East St. Louis, in St. Louis proper. We got to clarify that because there's a lot of things that happen late night in different parts of that city that you probably don't want to be involved in.
Yeah, we were in the tower calling the race in St. Louis. And Big Jed, you're welcome, man. Again, you know, I know that everybody out here loves you, misses you. We can't wait to get to see you again. So whenever you get the chance to stop by and hang out with us, just know that the gates are going to be open, the racetrack is going to be open, and the door to the announcer booth is going to be open whenever you want to walk in.
And Kyle's there for $20, you can come straight through the gate.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Gates will be open, $20 gets you in.
Yeah,
for Jared? For Jared, for Big Jed, Kyle's going to discount it to 25.
Yeah.
Kyle's going to discount it to 25. Hey, we're going to take a little break and go take care of something really important.
So we have called Super Pro, and of course we have called the Pro Final as well. And we do have cars queuing up down there in the staging lane, so it'll be just a couple of minutes now.
All right, well, we did have to take a moment and take care of something very important. The good news is that the contents of the swear jar are now on their way to Greg Boutte.
Yes, it's awesome.
So, good news is that, he is recovering as anticipated, is doing well, and again, from all of us out here at the racetrack, Greg, our thoughts, our prayers, and our love are all sent out to you, man. All sent out to you. Again, thank you, Matt Zapp. Appreciate the compliments. Looking forward to getting out to Galat at the end of next month to come out and spend a little time at that fantastic facility. That place is gorgeous. Who threw that out there? Was that Chad? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Chad, I know that Brian has already answered the question, but this year, no.
Negatory.
What have we been hearing from the free seats?
Not even the cheap seats, the free seats.
Oh. Yeah, so again, I want to say thank you to all of the racers that did drop a few bucks into the swear jar. Certainly appreciate that. We sent a nice little chunk of change on its way to Greg Boutte. We have taken the swear jar, put it back in the drawer, and we will break it back out next year as necessary. And I'm sure that between now and then, there's going to be another need for it. Wish that there wouldn't be, but there will probably be another need for it. And we'll make sure that we all come together again for our racing family, as we always do. Have to even start thinking about what we may need to do in Galat. We'll have that swear jar out there as well.
Yeah, so I will not be joining you in Galat, as I will be at the final running of the Southern Nationals, but we'll be hanging out in two other places, Columbus, Ohio.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Bristol.
And Bristol, Tennessee.
Looking forward to that.
Me too. Hopefully they get all the clay washed off that thing. I mean, our track won't have clay on it, but the NASCAR situation took a turn for the gross today. It poured rain there. They're running that race on dirt this week. They had to cancel today, which was going to be the truck race, and then NASCAR qualifying for the big series. And they got so wet and bad that they had to cancel. So they're going to run. They plan right now to run the big race tomorrow afternoon, and then the truck race will be run at 9 p.m. tomorrow night after the stock cars get done with it. They'll run the trucks on it, and who knows what the thing's going to look like after that. I mean, it's going to be beat to smithereens, you'd expect. Good thing they're trucks, though.
Yeah. Yeah, those trucks, those high-riding trucks that they race in NASCAR, they should be able to go right over those divots and ruts.
Kick her down into 4 low.
Those trucks should be, they should be the only vehicles on the planet that can actually probably point it straight up on the berms there at Bristol and climb right up.
It'll be a tremendous calamity, and it'll be very fun to watch.
Justin, you going to be at Galat? Nice. Hopefully a lot of you will be at Galat. Because I like it, Galat. We've got our Gear Wrench Pro final is back there. Our Super Pro round of 8 is going to be coming back. And again, it's going to be interesting because we'll go from, in this round of Gear Wrench Pro, we'll decide our winner that will await the 4 that are coming back in Super Pro. So instead of coming back with the 4, we'll come back with 5 and be odd the rest of the way through.
Yeah.
Not that it hasn't been an odd weekend already.
Why be normal? Why change now?
It has certainly been an odd weekend already. But yeah, Big Jet, I think I was saying this when I had to run away. Again, hopefully you find your way through the gate, and when you do, hopefully you find your way up to the announcer booth. Absolutely. Because we certainly would love for everybody to hear your voice again. The sweet, sweet tones of Jared Pennington wafting through the air.
Ooh, wafting.
Wafting.
Having spent several long days in this room with you, you have wafted things beyond your own vocal tones. More than one occasion.
Actually, I think that's a little wrong of you to accuse me that I'm the one that's been leaving the room.
No.
You have
When
parked yourself
true,
in here, and when I walk back in,
it is not an accusation if there is truth.
Just saying.
We need Dylan Mudd. Dylan Mudd to the staging lanes, please. Dylan Mudd. Staging lanes, please. A disembodied voice from the other room just screamed your name, so I assume that's what we need.
Yeah, one of these times, Rod, I know you're stuck kind of locked out of the country. Other racers get locked out on the racetrack. You've been locked out of the country during this whole thing. Hopefully Hagan gets to make his way down here and hang out with us for a little while. Hey, racers, again, just a reminder, the Diva Desk is open. Come on down there. Let's get your tabs settled up. If you are expecting payment, let's get your payment settled up. Let's make sure that we get everything taken care of there for you.
Listen, all of our friends, in the Great White North, the Canuckistan, if you will, we cannot wait to see everyone again. I mean, we all know a lot of Canadian racers, whether it's Canadian racers that compete in heads-up drag radio series or Canadian racers that are great bracket racers or class racers or NHRA racers. Whatever you do, we know that there are loads of you that are dying to get back down here and dying to go drag racing again, and we cannot wait to have you because it is odd to be at events like this and not have folks from Canada. It's a strange thing. I can tell you just from my whole life in this sport, coming from a northern spot like Epping, New Hampshire, we had loads of Canadian racers there, but it's been a strange thing to not have any Canadian racers at these events.
Well, and even at this point, at this event, not only are we missing everybody from north of the border, we've got a really large contingent of racers that come up from south of the border as well that have not been able to make it. So for all of those racers that normally come up from Mexico, we certainly miss you guys too. We'd love to have you back as soon as we possibly can. And again, we're all hoping for the same thing, that this goes away very quickly and that we can open those borders back up and get you guys to come up here with us as well. I mean, when we've been able to come out here and have kind of our appreciation parties, we haven't been able to do that the last couple of times. But I'm telling you, there is nothing like having our representatives from Mexico come up here when they start breaking out the food. Oh, I mean, those guys are just a ton of fun anyway, but they start breaking out the food, and it gets really good.
Final round here in Pro. It is Justin Lamb and Kyle Rizzoli. Rizzoli dialed 620, left-hand side of the drag strip. 553 the dial-in for Lamb. The winner will receive $500 and entry into the round of what would then be 5 remaining cars in the entire competition.
$553, dial for Justin Lamb. $620, dial for Kyle Rizzoli. Couple of guys that talk about racers that are familiar with one another. These guys might as well be they are conference rivals technically, but I'm just saying they meet up with each other 20, 30 plus times a year, and now this one is a big one.
Rizzoli off and gone, and here comes Justin Lamb. Lamb grabbed himself a Honda differential at the starting line, and it's Lamb. 552.7, 553 dial. He takes a Hunt at the finish line stripe. 0.11 reaction time. Rizzoli gets to the finish line second, runs 3 thou under his dial at 619.7. He was 21 in the tree.
And the $500 gear wrench bonus today will be claimed by Justin Lamb as the last car standing in that category. We've got 8 sitting back in the staging lanes, or I guess we should say we should have 8 sitting back in the staging lanes, getting ready to suit up and head this direction.
And remember, Kyle Rizzoli's one of them.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So we should have 8 cars back there, 7 drivers.
We should.
Kyle will be back in a minute. And whoever ends up paired up with Kyle, which we did we get the new one? We did.
We did. Remember I read you the pairings off?
No, that was like 3 minutes ago.
You're right. I almost didn't even bust your chops about it because I was trying to remember if I read the book or not. Then I just went for it. Because I figured if I remember, he probably doesn't either, so whatever.
Yes, now that I'm looking at the picture.
All right, I know you guys are talking in the chat window, and somebody is. You guys are asking about how much it costs to enter the Fling. It's $690. Somebody put $890 in here, and that's not correct. It's $690. It gets you all 3 days of the $30,000 races. With buybacks are like $160 or something like that, or $100. I don't remember each day. And then on Spring Fling Million Day, which is Friday, yesterday, that is a $2,000 entry with a $500 buyback. So those of you talking about what it costs, there you go. And now it is time for Super Pro round number 7. That's Autometer, round number 7.
Junior on the left side of the racetrack. A Southern Fried first pair here in Super Pro.
Remind me, I got to ask you a question about that. There's really going to be a question for everybody, but we'll see.
Okay.
Troy Williams Jr., 483 is the dial-in for the Dragster. And for A.J. Ash in the Nova. A.J., who was, I know Peter's talked about multiple times when we were in Galat, basically just continued to show his mettle over and over and over, and it ended up getting him that MVP award. And he's continuing to do it here. 536, A.J. Ash on and off the brakes, tickling it into the beams as the tree drops, and bang.
AJ, it's going to be Williams Jr. Ash had him, 009 at 22 in the starting line, but it is going to be Williams Jr. as Ash takes 31 at the finish line and breaks out by 2 thou. Ash runs 535.8 at a 536 dial. Williams goes 1 over, 484.6 with an 022 light, and AJ Ash broke out at the end of the racetrack. He's eliminated.
Wow. Wow. Had a bunch in his pocket, and the dragster snuck up on him. AJ runs it through, breaks out. Is now Mike Coltrane and Jeff Verde. So the first dragster versus door car battle goes to the dragsters. Now we get the door cars versus the door cars.
591 the dial for Verde, 494 for Coltrane. Love the way the sound travels out here, man. You know, there's nothing to stop it. It just goes on forever. It's a cool effect of this racetrack.
Sounds really, really good. I'll tell you, at one point next weekend, what you need to do is find yourself a spot right up there underneath the suites when Top Fuel's running. I know you can't,
but
because you're going to be a little busy.
Is it like a catch-all up there?
It just swirls under there. Like the word that would, it's just stupid cool. It's stupid cool. So the 591 number for Jeff Verde, 494 the number for Mike Coltrane. Coltrane will do the chasing. Verde is going to do the running. And away we go. Jeff Verde is a man on the run as Mike Coltrane is closing in fast. And Verde, 008, 592 on the 591. He's 8 at this end, 15 above at that end, and takes 15 thou at the stripe to win. Mike Coltrane, 25 green for the reaction time, and 13 thou above to be 38 total, and bowing out. Verde takes his 008 into the round of 5. So here's what we had so far. Lamb with an 011 being inserted. Troy Williams Jr. with an 022. Jeff Verde with a 008.
And now Dylan Mudd's getting ready to apply the trade here against Shane Thompson. Thompson has been Sharp shooting the bulbs out of the tree all day today. Mudd completes his burnout, puts the car in reverse, headed back to the starting line. He's dialed 456. Thompson comes out of the burnout box in the 67 Nova, dialed 499. I mean, Mudd's the wild card here because he's kind of in a low-pressure situation.
Right at this point, it's not like they haven't stashed enough cash in that trailer from the final round appearance of Randy Lynn, and, of course, last night.
It's like he's in there for Bo and Randy Lynn and the team's entertainment value, and he keeps making it more fun to watch. Meanwhile, Shane Thompson trying to keep up a string of impressive reaction times. He will. Thompson to the stripe, and it's Thompson. Dead on 17 light 24 pack. Mudd was 41 leaving the starting line. It all ended for him pretty much right there. He goes 4:55.8, getting there second.
So last night, it was Alexis Thompson who raced her way into the round. I mean, between the group that's racing with Bo Butner this weekend, I mean, Randy Lynn going to a final, Bo winning the big one, Mudd making his way down here into the quarterfinals of the drag. That's been a darn good weekend all the way around for that pit area. On Thompson's side, you had Alexis Thompson, who raced her way deep into the round of 6 last night in the big money race. Shane Thompson has now got himself into the round of 5. Of course, Morgan doing her part as well, going deep into the rounds, taking that white ride in there. Those camps have had some pretty phenomenal runs here over the last several days.
Well, 2 of our 5 cars are going to be from Henderson, Nevada. That's pretty wild, right?
It is.
You can almost throw a rocket at that place from here.
Well, and so I know that Justin does a lot of work on Shane's cars.
Okay.
So, like I know that Alexis had even called that out kind of in her post of, hey, thanks, Justin, for all the work on the car, blah, 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 blah. So
if he comes over, we see how this thing, if he comes over and goes, hey, let me tune this thing up. We're racing each other. I have your best interest in mind.
Let me just look under the hood real quick.
Tapping fingers together.
Kind of twirling the mustache.
Yeah, Tracy, as he tweaks a non-existent mustache, it says, meh. Yeah.
Oh.
FTI Performance, makers of high-performance torque converters and transmissions. Based in DeLand, Florida, FTI Performance produces new products on a near daily basis and has become the standard in the performance industry. From stock to top sportsman, street to pro mod, and much more. The pros at FTI will help get you and your ride into the winner's circle with their superior products and expert customer service. Check us out online at www.ftiperformance.com or call 866-726-8358. Join our family, the winning FTI family.
Final two for this round. We'll decide who gets to join up with the other four. And we will set the ladder. In what will be essentially the quarterfinal remix. Remix.
.454 for Lindsey Meserve on that left-hand side of our vantage point, the right-hand side of your screen. .483, the dial-in, right-hand side of our vantage point, left-hand side of your screen. Saw Kyle about 008 last round, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood, give or take. Lindsey obviously has been full crush job as well to make it this far.
Lindsey last round was left a little room out there.
Yeah.
Left a little room out there. But I am certain she will tighten that up. Set and gone. 27 thou between them in reaction time, and Lindsey was a tad bit tardy. Kyle Rizzoli was 20 on the tree. Lindsey had the 047 reaction time. Kyle lays down a lap that is dead on one. Lindsey ends up running 4:53.9 on the 4:54. Kyle getting there first by 25 thousandths of a second. So Rizzoli will advance to meet up with Justin Lamb, Shane Thompson, Troy Williams Jr., and Jeff Verde in the round of 5.
Well, then we can do this one of two ways, Nate. We can read it, our ladder, or we can just do the microphone rub thing over it again. What do you think? I think we got a good response to the microphone rub thing over it, but
You know, I think they found it challenging. I mean, we did hold it up to the glass.
pretty awesome final five. Jeff
Yeah.
Verde's got the bye. Thompson will take on Troy Williams Jr., and then Lamb will race Rizzoli for the second time this evening. So, yes, Lamb and Rizzoli, part two. Thompson Williams Jr., and then Verde has the bye.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be great. How dare you say good? What are you just going to start underselling it now?
No, I didn't say it'll be all right.
You did. You landed on good pretty hard, so I get it.
Yeah.
You put the emphasis on good. We need all
On the
five.
G.
All five remaining cars to the lanes, please. 5 remaining cars to the lanes.
I did put the emphasis on G in good.
does appear we have our 5 remaining cars down there in the staging lane. As soon as we get them situated, we're going to fire them up, bring them around the corner, set up our semifinal. Jeff Verde will have the bye.
All right, looks like we got all but one. Rizzoli, need you back to the staging lanes, please. Rizzoli, if you could join us back in the staging lanes, that would be great, please. Rizzoli, come on down. Hey, well, we got our last car back into the staging lanes. Mike Coltrane. Mike Coltrane, you have won yourself a $500 Autometer gift certificate. Congratulations, Mike. Come on down.
All right, race cars running right now. Our final 5 cars approaching the ready line. Getting ready to rock and roll here to set up the semifinal. Pretty wild to think that we are down to just 5 machines after an event that started on Tuesday and has consisted of more than 400 cars in competition every single day.
It is. I was just thinking that as well. You know, it's coming down to the end, and the field has been whittled down to a final few. As Shane Thompson and Troy Williams Jr. Thompson going to be digging deep, looking to make sure that he can keep that string of reaction times that he's had running. And see if that Nova can do him right one more time. Big matchup here between Shane Thompson. Again, thank you to Shane's company, Silver State Refrigeration HVAC, for their continued support of the Spring Fling program. Of course, title sponsor for yesterday's main event, title sponsor on Wednesday, and again, helping out at Galata as well. $4.99 to a $4.83. Troy Williams, Shane Thompson, not wasting any time getting into the beams, and here we go. Red light start for Shane Thompson. Had to take a swing at the tree. Troy was 001 and goes 482 on the 483. Thompson missed it, 3 foul at this end of the racetrack and runs 499 on the 499. But Troy Williams is taking his 001 reaction time into the round of 3.
Nasty, nasty, nasty. And once again, we see a very tight red light and the car go dead on. As many times as we have seen the 000 and lose move, probably 5 times as much we have seen the 00 red light followed by an elapsed time that's dead on with change. It's just been one of those weird coincidences that have happened time and time again. Kyle Rizzoli and Justin Lamb. Second verse, Kyle Rizzoli hopes isn't the same as the first because, well, he lost the first time he had a matchup with Lamb this evening, but he was in his Camaro, not the dragster.
He is bringing a different weapon into this matchup.
Yeah, and the question is, does it give him an advantage now?
Back there in the pit area, sharpening the sword.
Yeah. Big news right here.
Big news. The winner of this pair will have the bye run into the final. Troy Williams was 001 but has already had a bye. And again, based on how things are done here, Jeff Verde's rolling up for his bye run. So between Justin Lamb and Kyle Rizzoli, 550 is the number on the board for Justin, 482 is the number on the board for Kyle.
Both sitting in pre-stage. Rizzoli looking for atonement from the last time he looked over and saw this guy about an hour ago. And Lamb looking to do exactly what he did before. Lamb stages first. Lamb's gone, and here comes Rizzoli. This time it's Rizzoli with a massive starting line advantage, and it is Rizzoli, 84 on an 82, 0.22 reaction time. Rizzoli takes 23 at the finish line stripe to win. Lamb goes 2 over, 52 on a 50, but he had an 0.51 light. So Kyle Rizzoli will have a bye into the final round of this $30,000 FTI-sponsored event today.
Wow.
A reversal of course.
Yes, it is.
And Jeff Verde will be racing Troy Williams Jr. Verde with a sporting 005 reaction time and a 592, 115 mile an hour shot down the racetrack.
So Troy Williams Jr., Kyle Rizzoli, Jeff Verde headed into the final grouping as the ladder will get reset and we will play it all again, Sam.
And play it again, Sam.
With 3 that remain. So we give them a little bit of time to get back into the pit area, get them cooled down, get them chilled, get them fueled. I know there are a lot of folks that have already packed up, have hit the road, or probably listening in as they are headed whatever direction it might be, whether it be north, south, east, or west. Those that are eastbound and down, again, for all of you, regardless of the direction, we hope that your travels home are very, very safe, and we are looking forward to getting you back out here as soon as possible. I know that many of you may be returning back here in a couple of weeks to race at the NHRA National event. Many of you will be pointed in the direction of Glot towards the end of April. But again, from all of us here at the Spring Fling staff, we thank you for your continued support. We thank you for coming out here, and in the case of Bo Butner and Randy Lynn, who have rolled in, we thank you for coming in and scooping up piles of cash and wallpapering your trailer with it. But just for everybody, we thank you for being out here. Appreciate what you're doing. All right, racers, semifinalists, let's get you to the lanes, please. Semifinalists, let's get you to the lanes. It's Troy Williams with lane choice over, Jeff $1 Million Verde, and Kyle Rizzoli on the bye. So again, semifinalists, come on back to the staging lanes, please. All right, so we have 2 of our 3 that are sitting back in the staging lanes. I believe we've got a replay of the last round. Kyle Rizzoli, we are waiting on you, sir. We would certainly enjoy it. Although you have the bye run and will be running on your own, we would certainly like to see your smiling, beautiful face. If you would go ahead and make your way to the staging lanes at this time, that would be appreciated. Thank you. So our semifinal round has made their way into the water box, down to the last 3 that are going to be making an appearance here at the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries. A familiar face on both sides. Jeff Verde in the Firebird waits as Troy Williams Jr. backs up in the burnout. 480 is the dial for the Florida runner, and Jeff Verde, who was the inaugural $1 million event winner here at this racetrack, rolls up to try and stake his claim at a $30,000 prize in the final to go up against Kyle Rizzoli, who awaits somewhere on the property.
Yeah, he's sitting back there in the staging lanes. He's hanging out. He'll be around the corner momentarily. But, these are 2 names, Williams and Verde, we've been waiting to see late in an elimination round, and they're both here now. They leave the starting line. It is Jeff Verde packing a big punch here at the leave as they get to the finish line stripe. It is Verde. 91, dead 3 with a 16 reaction time, 19 package. Verde taking 39 across the stripe. Williams is 45 on the tree. He was 13th thou over the dial of 480.
Wow. Jeff Verde making his way to another final round here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And again, just hauling your car on an open trailer ain't such a bad thing if you're headed to Vegas for Jeff Verde. It's beautiful.
So Jeff Verde having the opportunity, now going to a final, to raise his career winnings at the Spring Fling Million to an even $300K if he's able to close the deal tonight, right?
Why not?
$270 the first time. It'd be a $30,000 check tonight.
The Dragster Slayer.
He's been doing that with aplomb, and he'll have to slay another one if he wants to pick up the big check. Kyle Rizzoli has something to say about that. He'll be coming around for his buy run here momentarily. You can hear the rumbling engine of the dragster as it idles or coasts now. I guess it's way around the corner.
So Rizzoli has found his way up here into the tower. Is going to slide up into the left lane water box.
And it looks like he is going to make a rip. We were wondering to see if he was just going to go up and stage the car, but he's going through the water, so that would lead us to believe that he's at least going to make a kind of a full effort launch out of the thing. We'll see if he makes a pull all the way through.
Yeah. Is he looking just for the early numbers? Is he looking for the full show? Or does he just want to go up and take another really close look at the billboard that's up there at the, sand trap?
Kyle Rizzoli, Southwest Showdown, made money.
Yes, he did.
We know he's going to be making some money here tonight.
Made some money in his Camaro down there. Going to be making some money in the dragster here. Already made some money. I'm sure the way that they've got this kind of divvied up. Our drivers that have been later in the rounds are walking out of here with a nice little additional padding in their pocket. There's a Rizzoli on a 481 dial. .006 and 480 with a 6.
142 miles an hour, so there you have it. Rizzoli and Verde will be coming back for the final round of the K&N Spring Fling Million on this 30K FTI Saturday, presented by Optima Batteries in just a few minutes.
All right, FTIperformance.com, $30,000 Saturday finalists. Both of you will take you to the staging lanes. So we'll take Jeff Verde, we'll take Kyle Rizzoli. We'll get you headed this direction, please. Finalists, come on back. We have got one pair left to go, one race left to decide, one big check, one trophy, one champion's jacket, and one heck of a celebration to complete, to wrap up the K&N Spring Fling. Million presented by Optima Battery here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So racers, let's get you headed back this direction, please. They'll be down there to meet you, to greet you, and to get you situated before we come back up here. And as we do begin to wrap things up, I've said it before, we'll wrap it up one more time. Racers, crew, family members, whoever it is that rolled in here through the gate with you, we thank you for being here. We appreciate you taking the time to travel from whatever distance it was that you traveled, whether it was across town, whether it was across the country. We appreciate that you have driven all the way here, have set up shop with us for the last several days. We hope that you have enjoyed your time here. We hope that you have provided for you what is promised with the Race It and Experience It opportunity that comes with racing at the Fling. On behalf of everybody at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we thank you for allowing us to continue to be a part of the Spring Fling family of races. We certainly hope that we'll be able to maintain this partnership as many years as possible because we love having all of the Fling racers here. And it's a great opportunity for the West Coast racers to get a shot at $1 million event like this. So to Peter and Kyle, from those of us here as racers, we thank you as well, Emily, for all of the work that you do, for all of the hours that you put in. We thank you for your dedication to the racers and for putting on an event like this. And then we're going to switch over here. Brian, I've really enjoyed sharing the mic with you over the last several days. It's been a fun few days. You keep it entertaining. You keep it informational. You keep it on the down low sometimes, and you always, and many times, sometimes even wander over that line of appropriateness, but it makes it all the more fun. For everybody who's listening on the Bank Shift live feed, thank you so much for being a part of this with us. Chad, you are a rock star, dude. Being up there on that scissor lift for all ridiculous hours of the day, surviving the wind, being there for the fans who are watching online, for those that are even back in their motor. I mean, here on property, people are tuning in just to make sure that they can get a front row seat to what's happening here. I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. And, Brian, it's been a tremendous kickoff to this partnership that I know we're going to get to do a couple more times this year.
First off, I'm just glad I wrote all that out for you. Don't know if it would have come off as well if you had just done that off the cuff. So that's a load off. No, it's spectacularly well said. Every word of that was 100% accurate and great. Just like this event, very great. Certainly a spectacular first experience I have had here at the Spring Fling. I, of course, have watched these events over the years on Bank Shift. But to be here is cool, and it's a great thing. And we get to work together here. We get to work together in a couple weeks, and we'll do it again a couple more times in a slightly more green and hilly environment when we go to Bristol, and a slightly more green and flat environment when we go to Columbus, Ohio.
I understand there also may be some humidity involved in the Ohio event.
Listen, your perm is going to frizz very badly.
Yeah, I was concerned about that.
The Jerry curl is going to suffer.
I was worried about that. Apparently I'll need to go invest in powder.
Well, listen, we as indoor cats, we are human versions of indoor cats because we're in these humidity-controlled environments, if you will. But
I don't know that for me, being a desert rat, you can't control the humidity indoors.
Listen, man, we'll be all right.
Okay.
I'm not going to hug you or anything, but I'm just
trusting you on this.
Well, we know Verde can get to the lanes on time, and we have obviously know that Rizzoli cannot. So Yeah. So hopefully he hurries it up. He should call the guys at Mazier and CNR and get a radiator on that thing. Or something else that's coming out. Anyway, yeah. So here we are. We are ready to go. Of course, Brian and Nate have already said thank you to everybody, and I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. Thank you to our great sponsors, Holly and Jegs and Hoosier and FTI, as well as Silver State Refrigeration, Hoosier. Thank you so much to all of you guys for being a part of this event. It is just a great one, and yes, it is long days. Yes, it is a lot of time on the scissor lift. Yes, I want to scream sometimes at these guys for taking forever, but it is cool to be a part of something this big and this cool. So thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. We are waiting on one car, and then we will make our big finish and call it a day. And whoever owns the dogs that just bark whenever they're in the grandstands, your dogs bark at cars. Don't bring them to car events. Yeah. Gosh, I've had headphones on because I'm tired of listening to the dog go. Rrr, 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 rrr. It's actually two of them. One of them barks. Reading everything in the chat window. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Oh gosh. I am tired. And it's 10 o'clock. It'll take me an hour to tear down here tonight. It will take me it'll probably take me another hour to pack in the room. So yeah, 1 o'clock, going to bed, waking up at 5:30. It's totally on par with the rest of the spring fling. You know what? Next year I just want to race here. Then I'm gonna stay in the motorhome or whatever, or go to the hotel at a normal hour. It'd be awesome. I mean, unless I'm racing in the finals, at which point I'll get to nap for 76 hours in between rounds. It'll be fine. Yeah, I'll sleep tomorrow, Craig Garcia, and then I have to. Oh, sorry, I can't stop yawning. And then I have work to do on Monday. Well, I have work to do tomorrow, honestly, but Victorino Rizzoli owned the shopping cart? Wow. Well, I'm sorry, but since Rizzoli owned the shopping cart, it just proves that he's not very smart if it sold that fabulous bracket racing hot rod of all time. Oh, NHRA Mom, I don't need more tea. I'm good. Oh, yeah, I probably did make 1,058 people yawn. That would be awesome right now. Thank you, Verm. Yes, napping in the lanes. I've napped in the lanes a bunch of times, honestly, in the car. And a dragster's super comfy to nap in. So I fell asleep under the tower at Moroso Motorsports Park, now Palm Beach International. If you've never been there, it has a T tower. So the tower is, what's up, brother? Oh, you got a check for me? Nice, I like that. Let's set it in the front of the car. It's cool. Thanks, brother. The other great thing about Peter and Kyle is Emily. Emily is the magic person who writes the checks. So thank you. Tell Emily I said thanks. Yeah, anyway, where was I? Oh, Palm Beach. So the tower there is, I don't know, 10 feet wide or something on the bottom, maybe wider than that. Anyway, and then it goes up, and then the building part, like the announcing booth and all that, is overhead, and it overhangs the lanes on each side, right? So the lanes go on each side of it, sort of like Wachamakuchi in Wisconsin. And So you were under it. Well, there was a crash in front of me, a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I was driving a super comp car, and I was in the water when the car crashed. I was getting ready to start the burnout. It was the pair in front of me car crash. So they backed me up under the tower, and I was parked under the tower, and it was a major helicopter had to land. Dude was all right, but but still, it was it was fine. And he lived, everything was good. The worst injury was his tongue, actually. Dude built the car himself, crashed it at Palm Beach, rolled it off the end of the racetrack, well, the side where their guardrails used to end, and there was ditches. This is when it was Moroso still. There was big culverts because Florida is horrible, and there's just water everywhere, and it's nasty. So dude goes into the ditch, and then the tumbly wumblies all the way into the trees. Bad. In a Vega, he built in his own garage, and it saved his life because the thing was built right. It's pretty cool. But he bit his tongue really bad. It was horrible. But anyway, lived. So meanwhile, they land a helicopter on the racetrack and haul him away and do all this stuff. Chad, strapped into a super comp dragster, is all sleeping. They tell us to fire up the pair. I don't fire up the pair. And the Doug Foley, who owns the car, and my dad are standing there, and Foley looks at my dad, and my dad looks at me, and he's like, he's asleep. So dad whacks me in the helmet. I'm awake. What's going on? Oh, it's time to race. Foley was like, do we need to take some out of the delay box? I'm like, no, I'm good, dude. It's fine. Whack. It was awesome. Like it. Verde has already signed the winner's check. There you go. I would like to see Verde win because, A, it's Verde and he's cool. And B, he's in a door car. C, as I believe it's still Pontiac powered, which makes it cool. He's former winner here for the million. Rizzoli, though, I like Rizzoli. He's other than the fact that he's lower than hell at getting back in the lanes, I like him. He's cool. He's a California guy, and I've seen him race a long time, so I like both of these guys. But we'll see. My emotional favorite is Dorcar. My used to be my home California side is Rizzoli. So there you go. We'll see. Yes, Ty Gaynor, I did win the round. It was this hour, by the way. We ran until 2 in the morning or something. It's horrible. But yes, I did win the round. Luther, I do not know if he has the open trailer still. I was told, or I heard that he showed up. Maybe it was this time. No, yeah, it was this time or in 19, one or the other, with an open trailer that was just bigger and had 2 cars on it. So yeah, here we go. All right. Yes, I won. Everybody that's asking. Vroom, vroom. There's Verde. Yay! Oh, I guess you guys want to see that. Just kidding. I kid because you can't do anything about it.
On the left-hand side of the drag strip, right-hand side of your screen, and Jeff Verde and his Pontiac Firebird, the right-hand side or the left-hand side of your screen, depending on whether you're hanging out with us in the starting line or watching from your home. A pair that, in my opinion, Nate, is the true definition of a pick'em.
Agreed fully.
There is not one iota of either of these 2 cars or drivers that makes me believe one is more suited than the other to win.
I would 100% back that statement. I mean, Rizzoli, whose year has already started off with making money down there at a big dollar race in Tucson at that Southwest Showdown, now turns around, jumps in the dragster, makes it to yet another final. I mean, he went deep in the rounds all day there. Same thing here. And Jeff Verde, the guy who has claimed a couple of $1 million events in the same year, including the inaugural here. And every time you see anything posted about Jeff Verde, it's because, he was at this track and lit up the scoreboard. He was at this track and parked it on the dance floor. And now he's back here at the big show in Vegas at the Spring Fling Million and is looking to light up one more scoreboard to try and do it again.
It's an amazing thing The last day he had an opportunity to recoup a lot of the investment he made coming out from Glen Allen, Virginia. He has done that in spades, and he is lined up now next to Kyle Rizzoli, who will turn on the top bulb of his side for the final time of the week.
We do that NASCAR thing. Let's just listen.
That's a good plan.
I like it. The win light will belong to Kyle Rizzoli. Kyle Rizzoli, 018 on the tree, and runs dead on 3 to be 21 total, taking a 14 thou stripe. Jeff Verde was 32 thou reacting to the green at this end of the racetrack, also dead on 3, and it comes down to that difference in the dials. In the reaction time.
What an appropriate way to finish this event. Two incredibly talented racers, a race of precision that came down to a 14 thousandths margin of victory at the stripe. Congratulations to Kyle Rizzoli for claiming his second big dollar win of the 2021 season and his first big dollar win here at a spring fling event.
Not a bad little way to pad your bank account to start 2021. Congratulations, Kyle Rizzoli. Congratulations, Jeff Verde. Congratulations to everyone who is out here racing. The spring fling of 2021 has come to a close. We will go down and celebrate in the winner's circle one last time as our K&N Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries. Again, to all of the racers, to all of the sponsors, to all of the families, to all of the friends, and to all of you, we thank you for everything you do for us, and we certainly hope that your trip home is safe, uneventful, and we will see you at whatever racetrack or event you are at next. Racers, we're going to go down into the winner's circle. We will talk with Kyle Rizzoli. And with that, we bid you a good night.
Well, as Kyle spring fling jacket, Kyle, we can step over here off the microphone, has about this much range. Congratulations, 20.
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously started off hot in Tucson on the bottom. I don't know. I kind of figured out how to hit the top today. Well, I was not pretty at the beginning of the weekend, but I just don't do it a lot, you know, and I finally got had some good tutoring from my good friend Sean Langdon and Brad Plurd on just trying to get my head right. And once I figured that out, you know, kind of fell into place.
Every race day is kind of its own adventure, and this is an adventure that saw you racing Lamb twice within about an hour's time. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, obviously Justin and I, have a fierce battle going on. And this is one of the obviously I was disappointed to lose in the final pro, but to come back and to take my revenge was nice. One of the few times where I felt like I actually had a better weapon than him. So good to pull that off. But yeah, it was just a great day. I mean, going rounds with both cars. I can't even count how many runs I made today, but it was a ton of fun.
It's an incredible. What sticks out about your spring fling experience, other than standing here in the winner's circle? What are you going to take away from?
Every time I come to a fling race, it's so well run, and it's just everything is laid out perfect. And you also have the best racers in the world here. So I mean, us West Coast guys, we always get bowed up when we see all these big names coming out here, and I mean, I look at them. I mean, I'm like starstruck, like Hunter Patton. He's pretty good. So it's cool to come up and race with these guys and kind of prove ourselves. So yeah, just great. Flings are always a great time.
There's only a $30,000 winner on this FTI Saturday. Well done.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The 2021 Spring Fling Million in Las Vegas is a wrap. And dude, Rizzoli winning the 30 grand, dude. He laid it down, man. Both of them dead on with a 3, I think is what Nate said. And difference in reaction time is the difference in making the win, and he handled it. So very cool. Verde down there in the winner's circle with him as well. Those two guys both taking home some money tonight in the third and final 30K race here at the Spring Fling Million. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Big thanks to my boys at Holly right here, as well as Hoosier and Jags, of course, FTI and Silver State Refrigeration, Hoosier Tires, etc., etc., etc. All of you guys, welcome and thank you for tuning in